Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Yesterday in the craft social, I issued an inspiration challenge. I shared a picture from of a kitchen and said, "Show me your card or treat that is inspired by that picture." So here's mine that I'm going to go live with this today on Facebook, but thought I'd make you a nice clean tutorial video. So let's get started with our card base. It's mint macaron and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. We're gonna emboss this card front with the ornate floral 3D folder. Let me grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're gonna set it up for a 3D embossing folder, which means just the platform. Let's take away the cutting plates and the thin die adapter. And we're going to put the front of this card in the folder and run it through. We're going to run it through with a number 4 plate on top of that. That's for your 3D embossing folders. Let me give it a crank. Look at that really deep, cute little floral pattern. Don't you love it? I was inspired by the curtains in our inspiration kitchen. Cute, isn't it? All right, I've got some Snail Mail Designer Series paper here. This is 2 3/4 by 4. Let's go ahead and adhere it to our card front. I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue so it gets a good grab on that textured card. All right, make sure that your pattern goes in the right orientation. I got little hearts here and they're floating up. Go ahead and burnish that on so that it's pretty well got the same margin on the right, left, and bottom. And I have a stitched scalloped rectangle here. Did this one ahead using basic white, and it's the second largest of the stitched scallop rectangles from Stitched So Sweetly dies. Let's go ahead and adhere that one to the card too. And again, generous with the multi-purpose liquid glue because we've got a real bumpy card front. Super cute. Let me show you some more Snail Mail Designer Series paper here. This is a Bermuda Bay pattern. It looks like little snail trails. It's got great big snails on the back side. It's a 3/4 of an inch by 3.5. And we're going to go ahead and just glue that down on our card base too. I like a little bit of an angle. We're really building our card up here. Now it's time to do some stamping. I'm using a couple of stamp sets today. I got my Snailed It stamp set. This is a cling rubber stamp set, 8 pieces from Stampin' Up. You can bundle it with the snail dies and save 10% on both products. We're going to use both today. I'm going to stamp my snail from the Snailed It set using Memento Tuxedo Black. Got a little scrap of basic white here. And let's see what's going to be the best way to fit that guy. Maybe this way. Yeah. Cute. Got another little scrap of Whisper White here. And this little scrap, I'm going to use a little Thought Bubble Memento. And fill in with a little heart. All this is from Snailed It. I'll set that guy aside for a second. Got a strip here. It's about 1/2 inch by 3. And my Happy Birthday. Now, Happy Birthday is from the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. I liked the Happy Birthday font. I thought it looked really good with the chickens. So we're going to go ahead and stamp Happy Birthday on our little scrap left of center. And got a little more stamping. My Sweet Strawberry stamp set. Actually bundle up with the Strawberry Builder Punch. We're going to use both here. This is my favorite Wingman bundle. We're going to use these 2 little flowers and the leaves and make some embellishments for our card. Got some Daffodil Delight in mint macaron ink and scraps. Gonna stamp a flower, the little bit bigger one and the little one, both of them on So Saffron scraps. And then our leaf, mint macaron on mint macaron cardstock. And we need 2 of those. All right, that's our stamping. Let's get rid of the ink pads and we'll do some punching. So the bigger flower gets punched out with the small bloom punch, and the little flower with the strawberry punch. These little flowers and leaves make really cute embellishments. Coordinates with every stamp set, but particularly with snail mail. Goes really well with the Hey Birthday chick too. Gives them kind of little natural elements, since the snails and the chickens are elements of nature. You know what I mean? So there's our embellishments. I want to bring my Stampin' Pierce mat back in here for a second. Just going to shape these little flowers. Give them a push with the putty end of the take your pick tool with the cap on, of course. Slide those guys aside. Bring our card back in. We're going to tie some ribbon around Happy Birthday. I've got this awesome crinkled seam binding ribbon, kind of inspired by the curtains in our kitchen color palette. You can kind of see we're picking up the colors from our inspiration kitchen. And I'm going to tie a big loopy bow on the end of this greeting. Cut that away from the spool. Love it. Now we'll adhere our birthday greeting to the card. Little multi-purpose liquid glue. And a little opposite angle. And get some Stampin' Blends, and we can color our little snail pieces. Got my snail and my little thought bubble here. Got real red Stampin' Blends, mint macaron Stampin' Blends, Bermuda Bay, and Daffodil Delight. Going to color the little heart, real red, just a base coat of the light shade, followed by a shadow on the right hand side of the dark shade. And then we can bring it together. We're going to do the same thing with this little gift on the snail shell. Keep our shadows consistent, so I'll bring the dark shade down the right side of that little gift and bring it together. Simple. Now our snail is mint macaron, and primarily the light mint macaron. So I'm going to use the brush because it's a big area here, and just fill in the center. Now I'll switch to the bullet so that I don't go outside the lines. Then I'll go in with the darker mint macaron and just do dots along the belly where the artist put the dots, but then also trail out along the bottom edge and the front edge, little dots of the light mint macaron to kind of blend them in, make them look kind of modeled instead of like perfect circles. There's my snail. Now let's do the shell. I'm gonna fill in entirely with light Daffodil Delight. doing like little ovals, kind of working where the ink is wet on the edge. Just kind of go over the edge and color new area. You get a nice even fill. That's the benefit of an alcohol marker, is that alcohol line gives you smooth coverage. All right, so there's our snail. Now for the shell, I'm going to first do a little shadow right along Snail's body with the dark Daffodil Delight. Just a curve that kind of works its way out, and then I'll do each of these little lines, and we'll do kind of the same curve here and then extend it here. So that'll give us some dimension, not just flat yellow color, but not super complicated either. Stampin' Blends make it really easy to look like an artist. All right, last is that little gift on top. We're going to use Bermuda Bay and color it just the same way we did the Real Red gift. Color with the light, then shadow with the dark shade, just a little bit, keeping that consistent on the right. There's our snail. All right, let's die cut those. We're going to use the snail dies. Got my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Love this dude. Everybody asks, how do you feel about it? How does it work? And I was saying the other day to a friend of mine that it's definitely a two-hand machine. It doesn't have the weight behind it of the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our little images. We can do both of them at one time. We don't have to crank a whole 9-inch plate through the machine. We got just this little 6-inch one now. I love that. I do a lot less cranking now that I've got my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. We're going to use low-tack tape to keep our dies in place. This is just a retired Stampin' Up! Washi tape. I'm gonna put my second platform on, and what I mean by it's a two-hand machine is you have to feed the machine with one hand, and you'll feed it until it engages the handle. Do you see that? Once it engages the handle, then you turn the handle and then grab the top of the machine and hold it down. So if you're having any trouble with your little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, hopefully that technique helps you out. You can't just swing this machine one-handed. It's too light. It doesn't have the resistance that the bigger machine has. You engage it and then turn the handle while holding the top handle, and I have no trouble with it. I love it. All right, let's bring our card in, our sample in, and finish this up. We need a lot of Stampin' Dimensionals. Let me grab some. Got the end of one from a kit here, so I'm just cutting up little pieces from the edge. I'm going to put them on the end of my leaves. Let's get the leaves on first. And I want them up here by the bow, but not off the edge. Be careful of the edge of your card. One that way, and then one kind of underneath the bow. Again, watch the edge of your card. Now, I'm going to put a little bit on my thought bubble, my snail, and my larger flower. Let me get all the dimensionals on here. All right, I want to take a little mini glue dot, pop my little flower on the mini glue dot, and we're going to take the larger flower. I'm going to put that one right over the leaf. Use that dimensional. Little flower, kind of budge up next to it. Let's grab our snail. My dimensionals are all sticky. Pop that guy right in the flowers. I love him. So cute. Maybe it's a her with those eyelashes. I don't know. And then our little expression, our little thought bubble. on with the dimensionals. So cute. Two little details here. One that I forgot on my original card. I'm going to take my black Stampin' Up marker and just go over the little eyeballs. Really get them good and black. I think it makes a difference, kind of brings them to life. And do that over here too. So cute. And then I've got these metallic pearls here. They come silver and gold. I'm going to grab a couple of little gold pearls. Let me use my take your pick tool. Why struggle when it can be easy? And just pop a couple of pearls in the center of my flowers. There it is. My little happy birthday kitchen inspired card. Pop on over to the Craft Social, check out that inspiration challenge. I'd love to see the cards that you make with your Stampin' Up supplies using the photo as inspiration. If you've got any questions, email marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. And to order Stampin' Up supplies 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.